I'm not talking about criminals.
You don't understand.
Hello guys, welcome once again to Think Tank TV. Now, in a dramatic session at the National Assembly, Senate President Godswill Akpabio reprimanded a lawmaker for an unusual comparison. The incident occurred during a heated debate on a contentious bill about cattle grazing in Nigeria. Yes, cattle rearing has long been a divisive issue in Nigeria, as opponents of the bill argue that it allows Fulani Herdsmen to move across the nation and settle in favorable areas, leading to communal clashes. I'd like us to look at the controversy that trailed in the National Assembly over this issue, and I'll be coming back to give you my thoughts about it. Take a look.
19 northern states is one state under northern Nigeria. But then that was the time when we had cattle route, beginning from maybe from Sokoto up to Lokoja. But now the states have been balkanized into 19 states. Northern Nigeria has been balkanized into 19 states, and each state has control of its land. So you cannot really bring the issue of cattle route, or now it's not applicable at all, because it touches on the territorial integrity of some states. Some states will not allow it. So ranching should be seen as a business, and government has no business going into it. And perhaps when we go to the public hearing, this will become very, very clear. So I rest my case, Mr. President.
Thank you. And this is for the whole country, or are you proposing a bill for some states? Please go back to your seat. You can only talk from your seat. You can't talk from here.
Guide it.
Proceed. Read order 42.
Order 42 says, by the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there may be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon explanation. The terms of the proposed...
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. What I'm saying no, is to support that.
The Senator Lalong.
Yes.
He says that the senator will have. Let's look at that order 42 again.
Sir.
So let's see.
You've agreed that I wanted to guide this honorable Senate that this matter I have been part of this agitation for a very long time, but I will be surprised that up to now we don't know some of the impediments towards realizing issues to curb farmers-headers clashes. Apart from the Constitution, like Senator Alero said, the ECOWAS protocol is part of the problem that we have. You can cut the Constitution, but what about the ECOWAS protocol? It allows you to move anywhere with your business. We allow you to move anywhere with your cows. So in getting towards realizing this, you must be very conscious of your laws in the nation, because you are not making a law for your state. You are making a law for the federation. The National Livestock Production Scheme was introduced under the Vice President. Everything was packaged, but some states refused. Some states even refused ranches. So this matter requires good consideration. I agree with the bill, but then we need to be very careful in getting towards even the second debate, so that we have a community of opinions, we have consensus on how to go about it. That will be also, yes, I said it, it has to also go out to the West African neighbors. Otherwise you will say you don't want them to come in. They will also say they will not want you to go in. to go into their own environment. And that is the information I wanted to put, Mr. President, sir.
Thank you. Oh, Senator Kawu?
Yes, sir.
After you,
yes,
no more debates.
Okay, thank you, sir. Representing Kano South Senatorial District, Mr. President from Kano. Mr. President, quite all right, I listened to the mover of this bill attentively. And from my understanding, and from what I believe, and from what is in our hand, between the content of his debate and the bill, there is serious contradiction. And the content of his lead debate, or what he presented to the Senate today, totally is against Nigerian Constitution, which we are practicing now. Mr. President, this is a very sensitive and serious matter. It is very sensitive and serious matters. It's beyond most of our thinking. I align myself with your position. You talk as a leader, and what you propose to us, I think, is the solution of this problem.
You have seen it for yourself that critics believe this strategy gives herdsmen an edge to understand local cultures and potentially launch attack. Recall Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, vehemently opposed open grazing, viewing it as a threat to the Igbo people. His outspoken stance is widely believed to be a factor in his arrest, which took place under the administration of the then President Buhari, a Fulani man. Anyway, let's keep hearing the details. Do also drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get to know what you think about the controversy that is trailing in the National Assembly, and we shall continually be here to serve you.
I am advising the leadership of this Senate, based on what you propose to us, based on your ideas, based on your experience. You are part of the and parcel of the leadership of this country for over almost 3 decades. Let the leadership come up with something very comprehensive, which protect the interests of each and every person in Nigeria. But going by this bill, it will compound our crisis in Nigeria. Some people close their eyes on what is going on, or what led herders to go against farmers. There is so many issues which we need to attend. Mr. President, we used to see where herders and their cattle are pursuing, killing them, destroying their property from some part of the country, which is against the Constitution. We cannot resolve this issue if we are sentimental. We need to be serious. We need to know that we are doing representation, and most of this issue is to do with the Constitution. And if we are altering the Constitution or amending the Constitution, we need the consent of each and every person in Nigeria. I commend your foresight, and I align myself with some of the submission of Senator Steve, two from North Central. But actually, Mr. President, the lead debate or this bill, in line with what he proposed to us, it is contrary against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are not going to support it. We will fight it to the end, Mr. President. Thank you.
To be very circumspect in our attitude to this lead debate, because the issue of ranching, cattle routes, and the rest of them have been in the front burner of national discourse in this country. Mr. President, I want to say here that the Constitution is not only made for one person, and that in contributing to the base of this nature, we must put national interest in focus. What we are witnessing here in the second reading of this bill is a fulfillment of one of the procedural requirements of lawmaking. There are other levels. We have the public hearing that will come, that will bring out the details of the law, where everybody will be invited to make contributions. We have not reached that stage. we also have a presidential assent that is required. We have not reached that stage. So I think that having agreed that this bill is very important and germane to our national situation now, I think that even those who are complaining about certain sections of the lead debate concede that they are not opposed to the bill. I therefore want to suggest that we allow the second reading of this bill to be committed to the relevant committees and for public hearing to be conducted, where all relevant stakeholders will be invited for them to make their contributions. At the end of the day, we'll get a bill that will make a law that will be acceptable to all Nigerians. I so submit, Mr. President.
Let me, Senator Babangida, you have a point of order. But just before then, let me correct myself. When I said that cows are not citizens, I may be right in that regard. But what the Constitution is talking about is movement of persons and properties. And therefore that is corrected. So cows are properties owned by citizens, and they have a right to be moved from one point to the other. Senator Babangida, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, the Senate President and the chair of the session. I'm Senator Babangida who sees Fulani farmer conflict in Journal of Humanitarian and Social Services, Volume 8, Number 1 of 2020, dealing with the issue of Fulani farmer herder clashes. The dimension to the crisis, Mr. President, has a lot of multifarious issues around it. And I think it is better for us to look at it from those dimensions. If we confine it to just movement cannot be enforced constitutionally because we have so many protocols. I refer to what distinguished Senator Lalong said regarding the ECOWAS protocol for free movement of goods and services within the West African sub-region. Secondly, we have the constitutional freedom for people to move from one place to the other without let or hindrance. Thirdly, and most importantly, the universal human rights has given everybody the right to move around. But the criminality around the pastoral herder conflict is the issue we should isolate and deal with. And I think this same Senate had approved a national conference to discuss extensively on the issue and bring proper solutions so that we can move forward to avoid these problems. So I remember Senator Karimi, who was with me, had started consulting and engaging prominent Nigerians who have insight and knowledge on this problem to partake and to contribute to this discussion. So I think let us be open-minded about this. We are Nigerians and we should not make any law that will affect one part of Nigeria to the detriment of another part of Nigeria. All of us here have a stake in this country and we must all work together to make peace and to make sure that this issue is brought to the fore. I have no issue with the bill. The bill is well intended, but there are so many dimensions that we have to look at before we can arrive and bring about an acceptable law that will deal with the issue of the criminalities around the Fulani farmer herder conflicts. I thank you so much for the opportunity, Senate President. Thank you, sir.
You have seen it for yourself. Now, it seems that the underlying issues is beyond what you just saw in the National Assembly, as tension flared when a lawmaker compared the constitutional right to freedom of movement for citizens to the movement of cows. Senate President Akpabio quickly intervened, reprimanding the lawmaker for his controversial comparison. Yes, Akpabio's strong response highlighted the sensitivity and complexities of the cattle grazing debate in Nigeria. The truth is that as the nation continues to grapple with this issue, the National Assembly remains a critical battleground for these debates. Many thanks indeed to all our viewers and returning subscribers. We really do not take it lightly. We'd like you to go to the comment section and drop your thoughts. Let's get to know what you think and what your perspective is about this cattle grazing and the thoughts of Nnamdi Kanu many years ago, and we shall continually be here to serve you.